Hi there, my name is Carey Voss and I'm curator of exhibits here at Historic Arkansas Museum. Today we're going to talk about one of the fun things about Christmas, which is candy. Maybe candy is not a big part of our holiday season now, but traditionally it was one of the times when people would have gotten sweet treats. We're looking today at something called cut rock candy, which was very popular in the late 19th century. But before we talk about rock candy, I want to ask you guys, how many of you share this memory with me where I would go over to my grandmother's house when I was a kid, maybe 5 or 6, and she had this beautiful candy dish and it was full of ribbon candies and candy canes and all of these different brightly colored hard candies, and I would be very excited because they looked so delicious, and I would put one in my mouth and it was just like kind of stale hard sugar. So I was so disappointed and I never wanted to eat any of it. Well, that's because my grandmother was born in 1913, and so she would have been of the generation when a sweet little lump of sugar was a big deal. And now maybe we want our sweets covered in chocolate with some carbs, but back then sugar was the deal. So we're looking at these really amazing, beautiful colored candies called cut rock candy. This would have been in anybody's grandma or great grandma's candy dish around Christmas time, especially if you had family who was of the British persuasion. This candy was developed in Great Britain in the late 1800s. And it was originally associated with like seaside resorts like Brighton or Blackpool, where they actually would put the name of the place in candy in the center of the candy. And so you can see that there are all of these amazing little designs in the middle of the candy. I think this pineapple is one of my favorites. And so like, the question is like, how did they do that? Because it's not just like stamped on the front, it goes all the way through. And this hard rock candy is really interesting. There are lots of videos online, and I would definitely suggest that those of you who are interested in this kind of candy, check it out, because it starts out, skilled candy makers still make this stuff, because even in the 21st century, we haven't figured out how to tell machines to make these intricate designs. And essentially, they work sort of like, if anybody's ever played with different colored clays, and you can roll them out into strips, and then you roll them together and you make a really long snake, and then you kind of cut them into pieces, you get these multicolored effects. And this is sort of a more sophisticated version of this, where the candy maker, and sometimes it takes 10 years to learn how to do these fancy candies. So this is a significant investment in education for something that, let's be honest, doesn't taste really great, but it's super cute. And so while the candy, which is hot, it's boiled, or it's liquid hot sugar syrup is laid out to cool on these cooling tables. And then at a certain point in its cooling process, it becomes bendable, and you can mold it, you can shape it, you can make it into ribbons, you can cut it. And at that point, the candy maker does all of this stuff to the center portion of the candy, where he combines different colors and different shapes of molten candy. And then they roll it into a very long tube and pull it. And they pull it very, very long, so it's small, because it starts out really large. And then they cut it up into these little bitty pieces, And when it's completely cooled, it becomes hard as a rock. So this holiday season, if you eat a candy cane or any other piece of hard sugar candy, don't tell your dentist and don't chip a tooth. Thank you. Have a good one.